Might not one of the bandits in Vernworth's jail know of the methods employed by thieves and their ilk?
Follow me, Master. I shall guide you to the location.
It is no great shock to me. If memory serves, there is another place we were to visit not far from here.
Perhaps we ought to go there first. What say you, Arisen?
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two.
These writings could be of import.
It couldn't hurt.
Have you business with the guild, sir? I should be... Glad to assist you.
Always a pleasure.
Have you business with the guild, sir? Have you found any of the items we discussed perchance?
Do come again.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master.
I overheard some of the soldiers standing guard outside the palace discussing a curious rumor.
Oh, did it pertain to the Queen Regent and an important personage, perchance?
Indeed. I grant you fire's blaze.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale...
We've earned ourselves a pat on the back.
No doubt, this triumph will spur us into the next.
Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero off the page. He delved into a temple of baleful feature, only to be confronted by a four-legged creature.
I'd heard tell of a beggar doing well for himself, so I came out here to learn his ways. So where does he get his coin, then?
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters with frightful mystique. In the north of Vermund is our curious tale staged, where ventured a hero off the page. He delved into a temple of baleful feature, only to be confronted by a four-legged creature. But when our hero drew his blade, unto him a demand was made. And who the asker? Why, the beast! An uncanny affair, to say the least. Yet there was no time for shock and dismay, as "Answer my riddle," did the fearsome thing say. The trickery...
'Tis a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
So a mighty attack did our hero dispense, to conquer his foe and banish it thence. With a single strike was the towering beast repelled, to quail in fear at the mortal strength it beheld. Such is the legacy of Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day.
This'll do my heart no favours.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master... storyteller. And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today... Aye, got some coin to spare... Much appreciated. Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my tale...
No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. The early griffin gets the worm, as they say.
Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements.
And should my tale entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug. Now, listen close, as today I shall speak of riddles and monsters.
Goblins, master!
I suppose I'll handle this.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell a certain...
What to make of this?
I shan't let the farm be.
And should my story entertain you? Nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with powers most fell. Our hero ventured into a shrine long enclosed, whereupon he found serpent and soldiers in battle opposed. Though to the soldiers' aid he would fain have leapt,
A treasure chest. Shall we see if we can't make our way over to it?
and not a moment too soon, for there came a flash of light, ere the room filled with screams, soldiers wailing at their plight. Then the shrine grew deathly still, and our hero was all alone, for every last soldier had been transformed into stone. Wary of his foe, and with presence of mind, the man crept up to the pillar upon which 'twas entwined. Seeing his moment, he unsheathed his blade and brought the pillar low in a thundering cascade. The gloating serpent was caught by surprise, and with a pitiful hiss, 'neath the pillar it writhed. Till mustering swiftly the last of its might, to the depths of the shrine did the monster take flight. Thus with a wit as sharp as his sword.
Oh, what luck! 'Tis a chest!
Not all chests contain treasure, you know.
What's all this ruckus?
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of...
Unless I am much mistaken. We have cause to visit a place not far from here.
Should we head there now? It would save us having to make the trip again.
Our hero ventured into a shrine long enclosed, whereupon he found serpent and soldiers in battle opposed. Though to the soldiers' aid he would fain have leapt, unease overtook him, so behind a pillar he leapt. And not a moment flash of light, ere the room filled with screams, soldiers wailing at their plight. Then the shrine grew deadly still.
This ladder can take us to new heights.
After you, Arisen.
Wary of his foe, and with presence of mind, the man crept up to the pillar upon which it was entwined.
Here you are, Master. I hope you like it. I found it myself.
The gloating serpent was caught by surprise, and with a pitiful hiss, 'neath the pillar it writhed. Mustering swiftly the last of its might to the depths of the shrine.
Now, there's a worthy prize. If only 'tweren't so far away.
And who was our hero? Why, needless to say, it was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day. Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, as today I shall tell of a serpent with powers most fell. Our hero ventured into a shrine long whereupon he found serpent.
A useful bauble, the ferry stone, which will allow us to travel vast distances in an instant.
We must save it for a time of dire need.
The shrine grew deathly still, and our hero was all alone. For every last soldier had been transformed into stone. Wary of his foe, and with presence of mind, and brought the pillar low in a thundering cascade. The gloating serpent was caught by surprise, and with a pitiful hiss, 'neath the pillar it
Welcome to... We serve all manner of fine ales here. Shall I pour you a cup to start? Come back any time.
Not much going on.
Idleness is a luxury.
Look as long as you please.
Well met, sir.
Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by
Welcome. We serve all manner of fine ales here. Come back anytime.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by...
Welcome. We serve all manner of fine ales here. Always a pleasure.
There's a ladder here.
Fine wares all. Welcome. We serve all manner of fine ales here. Always a pleasure.
Gather round. Treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky.
A well-organized pack is my specialty. At least I go knowing I fought to the best of...
I know precisely when a curative is needed.
Hail, Arisen.
I'm well glad to be traveling.
This rumor has been troubling me ever since I first caught wind of it. Apparently, there is an illness we pawns can catch beyond the rift that makes us a danger to ourselves and others. Symptoms include an unruly attitude and overconfidence. And in the end, we turn our backs on our master and our duty.
Can that really be true? I don't like the sound of it at all.
Our hero oft forgotten by history in spite of his word. Awoke one fell morning to rumble and burn.
As I recall, the location of another of our tasks is not far from here.
We'll make our way there in time. As to whether 'twill be sooner or later, that is for the Arisen to decide.
Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to the knee. This realization explained the bizarre. What had appeared close was being seen from afar. For truly, the figure was mammoth in size, tall enough to be blinded by the clouds in the skies. One thing was certain. Should it walk upon land, no city, no mountain would outlast its hand. So,
This is for you, Master. I thought it might come in useful.
I, in the face of his valor, the gigantus did hail. But who among you can name the hero of our tale? 'Twas none other than Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day. Gather round, treat your ears to a tale by a master storyteller. And should my story entertain you, nay, even if it shouldn't, I would greatly appreciate a coin or two to soothe my throat with a mug of ale. Now, listen close, and your focus apply to this tale of a giant who touches the sky. Our hero, oft forgotten by history in spite of his word, awoke one fell morning to rumbling earth. In a panic he started, out the front door he leapt, to behold what had approached a night as he slept. 'Twas a mysterious figure, but be it friend or foe, on shaking legs did he approach, the better to know. Yet he did not get near, for afore him stretched the sea. The figure was striding through waters up to the knee. This realization explained the bizarre. What had appeared close was being...
This ladder can take us to new heights.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
One thing was certain. Should it walk upon land, no city, no mountain would outlast its hand. So he challenged its ingress with voice loudly drawn, and in an instant the giant was gone. Aye, in the face of his valour, the gigantus did hail. But who among you can name the hero of our tale? 'Twas none other than Lord Rosamond, who, needless to say, was the father of House Berkeley, which lives on to this day.
I'm not getting in anyone's way.
I'd gladly stay here forever if I could. At least here I can let down my hair.
Well met, silly.
At least here I can let down my hair.
No one's coming to my rescue.
Oh, pray, excuse, might I beg a moment of you? My master is in need of aid, you see, and and...
All the best tales come from travellers at the inn.
Sets my thoughts down dark paths this place.
Worked hard today. I think I've earned a rest.
I'm ill teasing. It was a poultry repast. Ungrateful to be fed. There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
We could pick some now and use them when the need arises.
Too much to hope for a helping hand.
Life can be tiring even if you've no troubles.
There's a calm in the air.
At last, the moment I've been waiting for. Allow me to gather these up.
Sense my thoughts down.
I got getting back to start.
Rejoice, my darling, for your Albert is returned.
Welcome home, dear.
I spend my days spinning yarns, only to come home to a wife for whose radiance I have no words. If there is a more fortunate fool in the city, I have yet to meet him.
Oh, you bold-faced flatterer. Just be sure you mind your manners.
What would you of me? I'll have no...
Might not seem like much, but it...
You don't look like much.
I end up feeling weary.
Any loose
even
coin
after a
about?
day of
Enough to
rest.
make me rich.
Is it true you're the Arisen? Only, I seem to recall someone else boasting of being the Arisen over in the tavern about 6 months ago. Just be sure you play your part well, whatever the truth. The Arisen takes the crown here in Vermont, after all. The fellow Drake or two, and I reckon you'll earn the people's faith. Good luck to you.
You looking for a fight? Ain't nothing but trouble lurking here.
Ah, a material. Useful things, these.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
Sets my thoughts down dark paths.
Go on, have a look. Might want a dash of salt.
We've got to crack a few skulls if you want to be top dog.
I'm in fine fettle today.
Interested in my wares?
I always draw the short straw.
All this hustle and bustle puts me right at home.
Not my kind of place, this. Go on, have a look.
Wish I'd been born a nobleman, son.
Sets my thoughts down dark paths, this place.
Wonder if there's any easy work to be interested in my wares?
I'm aching for a fight.
Drink is a vice of lesser men. What should I get up to today?
Here you are, Master. I hope you like it. I found it myself.
I'm tired of breaking my back for someone else.
I pity those content to live in idleness.
Not my kind of
Interested
place,
in
this.
my
wares?
My bed calls, and I shan't
I
resist.
wonder how long this job's supposed to last.
It seems naught can cure our desire for oblivion.
Not my kind of place, this. Go on, have a look.
What's the point? The morrow will be no different.
Lots to do, and precious little time.
Wonder if there's any
Fools
easy
walk
work
into
to be
peril
had.
unprepared. I'm off.
Interested in
That's
my
my
wares?
My claws could use a trim.
Lots to do, and precious little time.
Wonder if there's any easy work
Only
to be
fools
had.
walk into peril unprepared. I'm
Go
off.
on, have a look.
This job better be worth it. It's too bloody early.
Must have taken a wrong turn somewhere.
A few hours sleep ought to help order my
Interested
I'm
in
in
my
fine fettle
wares?
today.
I'm dead tired. Life's been pretty kind to me.
I
The things I
book
could
I
do
would
with
not
an
expect
expect
you
you
this
this
job.
What to make of this?
my kind of place, this.
Now merely sit back and in... What to do?
Must have taken a wrong turn.
Go on, have a look. Unprepared. I'm off.
Don't I know that lass from somewhere? Interested in my wares?
Nutrition.
Suppose I'd best get to work.
Time to be heading home.
If I stay here,
Go on, have a look.
Cart full of gold.
I mustn't falter.
stock up on the basics. Flour, salt, fats.
Puts me in the mood for a song.
Interested in my wares?
Easy pickings. As I please. Let them try and stop me.
I end up feeling weary even after a
I'm
day
in
of
fine
rest.
fettle today.
A few hours sleep.
Go on, have a look.
Time to
Wonder
be
if
heading.
there's any easy work.
Ain't nothing but trouble lurking here.
Wouldn't do to neglect proper
Interested
nutrition.
in my wares?
It's been a hard day.
This is my sort
Any
of
loose
place.
coin about? Enough to make you rich.
A hard day's work is too.
How the hour's grown late. Hilda's going to have my hide.
Life can be tiring even if you've no troubles.
Wish I'd been born a nobleman's.
We might scratch another task off our list while we're here, if we are so inclined.
When the mind is split, the heart must lead. Or so I've learned.
Nattering all day is tiring work.
Right, door's locked. That should do it.
Oof. My pack's grown rather heavy.
Let's see. What can we do without?
Not sure why I patrol it, if I'm honest. So,
I'd gladly stay here forever if I could.
When does my watch end?
Mayhap I really would have been better off.
I must be vigilant. The townspeople
We are
depend
never
on me.
truly alone. The heavens watch over us.
There's comfort in the humdrum of daily life.
Got to work if I can put bread on the table.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
After you, Arisen.
I'd sooner stay out of that.
I've little enough gold to spend as it is.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm cut out for this work. Surely I can permit myself but a moment's rest.
I'd gladly stay here forever if I could.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
I say we collect as much as we can carry.
Hoi! How do you do? Nothing ever seemed...
Getting proper rest is an important...
I can't tell you.
A good sleep does what?
I've got something for you.
I've been on my feet all day. One of these days I'll find myself.
Only through... Here you are, sir.
It is quiet about.
The veil would taste twice as fine here.
I'd sooner stay out of that where it possible.
Something good will come of today. I just know it.
Got to face it.
Towns and politics are no concern.
What to say?
What to make of this?
Such quietude is a blessing.
You here to aid me?
Master, my heart knows no greater peace than when I'm by your side.
Say, have I seen you around?
I've been on my feet all day. Such quiet. My legs are as lead.
I could use a bit of peace and quiet.
Oh, I'm
Cleaning
swimming
for I'm too tired. Oh, stomach's complaint. Would that I could spend all day here.
What should I
You! Huh. You! Huh. Huh. Huh.
This looks like trouble.
Huh.
Such quietude is a blessing.
Pray slow your feet! You run too fast for the likes of me!
No time to catch your breath. Try to keep up.
This looks like trouble.
Huh.
This looks like trouble.
I'm in fine. I swear I've not blinked once in the last hour.
Why is everyone always in such a hurry?
This looks like trouble.
Got to say,
Try to see everyone out and about.
Come to think of it, was there not another task we were to see to somewhere nearby?
We'll make our way there in time. You shan't hear me complain about an...
Right, door's locked. That should do it.
Ah.
I feel refreshed and ready for a new day.
Off we go then.
I hope you slept well.
sometimes I wonder if I'm part of this shit.
Time to be barely drag my ass out of
A
bed.
world without drink could be a much bleaker place. There's got to be something fun to do.
Enough of the trouble.
I ought to be getting back to. Well met. This is. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Well, I ne'er. Interested in my wares?
I'm certain there is one.
Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing bit. Well met. I assume you'll be starting off with a mug of the good stuff. Pleasure doing business.
Dead on my feet.
Got to get home. I can't stay here.
sets my
Don't
face
want to
tight.
bother with a wretch like me.
Am I shedding? Must be my winter coat growing in.
I'm sure I can handle this.
All this quiet makes
Nothing ever seems to happen around here. Bit quiet, but I like it here.
When does my watch end? I've clean forgotten.
Some call it cultured, I'd call it dull. Unless we've business, you'd best leave me be.
Mercy!
Right, door's locked. That should do it.
All the best tales come from travellers and
My soul could use some work.
Now to report to Captain Brant. We have arrived.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim. as a true arisen. All shall change once we have attended the coronation. If your majesty has any unfinished business to attend to, 'tis best you do so before we depart. Very well. Is there aught else you would speak of, your majesty? For some time now, 'twas said that the false sovereign was recovering from his battle wounds. But as I hear it, he is now well enough to walk unaided. And so, in honor of his supposed valor, they have been holding masquerade in the palace of late. The false sovereign's identity is still beyond our ken. Even the matter of from where he hails remains a mystery. But mayhap approaching the false sovereign at one of these gatherings could afford you a glimpse into the man behind the mask. What say you, your majesty? Might I ask this task of you? My thanks. Some of the sentries posted at the masquerades are under my command. I shall have them ease security. So pray, slip into the venue through whatever opening presents itself. Once your infiltration is successful, you will need only don a mask and act the part of an invitee. Few will think to be wary if they believe you a fellow masquerader. Here, this should suffice to help you blend in. Take care, your majesty. Ah, there is one other thing. Masquerades being as they are, you will require suitable raiment. Much is made of appearances at such gatherings, and 'twould be wisest to dress the part when joining the other revelers.
It seems you must attend a palace masquerade if you were to meet the one who would falsely claim your title.
'Twould seem we've a need to visit the palace. Pawns aren't permitted entry to the palace, but I would see you to the entrance if I may.
The vanguard is yours. Lead on.
Here we are.
If you must go off on your own, there's naught to be done. I only hope you'll return sooner rather than later.
'Tis not our place to hurry the Arisen.
I regret to inform you that there is no masquerade scheduled for today.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
We could pick some now and use them when the need arises.
There's a ladder here.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above. Getting proper rest is...
The sun may have fallen, but the day is far from over.
Get lively. Journey by starlight shall make for a nice change of pace.
I hope you slept well.
My bed calls and I shan't resist.
About this.
Why I could lust.
would that all my days were so tranquil.
We shall await you here, Master.
You're far from your station, are you not?
I was bored out my skull guarding the palace. At least it.
Happiness.
My hair's in
Our
disarray.
first sovereign in decades. At last, we will see the end of the age of proxies. Indeed, the Arisen has always been the mainstay of Vermund. Only they are capable of repelling the dragon and guiding us toward a brighter future. Not so for the Queen Regent and her son. Fair weather rulers, the both of them. Should war erupt.
So I find it liberating to hide my face for a time.
Another fancy party hosted by the Arisen. You'd think he's feeling plenty merry.
Why, you're... No. Pay me no mind.
We who are gathered here are naught but nameless nobles. 'Twould be uncouth to inquire after another's identity.
If you've naught to say, I'd best be going.
All this revelry in war's wake.
Have you heard? There's to be more restrictions on goods traded with Batar. Apparently, even privately owned items will come to be curtailed soon.
Still waiting on that report.
The townspeople depend on me.
Well now, you're...
What is it? Has something happened?
We have it on good authority that a suspicious individual passed through here.
We need to scour the area. Well, scour what you like.
In here.
Open up!
You're dressed rather austerely for a patron.
My humblest apologies, Lady Wilhelmina. We've had reports of an unseemly character in the vicinity, you see, and...
Preposterous. I was out front till but a moment ago, and I did not see so much as a shadow.
Be that as it may.
You are excused. Leave this place, ere you invite our noble host's wrath upon yourself. I will summon you if aught is amiss.
Pray forgive the intrusion.
And what business have you here? In the nobles' playground? Hmm? You've the face of someone in search of a juicy morsel. Would you be looking for this, perchance?
Come on, then. Keep pouring. Do you take me for some green lad who can't handle his cups? I'm your damned king, and a king deserves royal treatment.
Of course, Your Majesty.
Tell us, Your Majesty, would you prefer more drink, or shall we find some other way to amuse ourselves?
Aye, aye. Let's change things up.
I believe I cautioned you to keep your drunken revelry in check.
lest you forget, these celebrations of your valor are but a pretense for more serious matters.
I know. I do. It's just I get the poison in me and things happen is all.
You need only serve as our false king until Sven becomes consul. Till then, however, you would do well to remember that your role demands a certain degree of dignity. I trust you understand your position, Your Majesty.
Nay, as you say, I'll go and sober up.
Why not remove yours as well? This is not the masquerade hall, and we now find ourselves quite alone. What say we dispense with such pretenses and speak openly with one another, Lord Phaesus?
That will do. If you're discovered, yours won't be the only head that rolls. What is your purpose here, I wonder? If you came to learn of the Sovereign, then 'tis as you have seen. The man is naught but a ale-swilling pretender propped up by the Queen Regent. Of course, that begs the question. If he's a mere mummer, then where might our true Arisen be? You'd best go. I'll do what I can to help you make your escape. Come see me in my bordlery, whene'er you're so inclined. I'll instruct my attendants to send you straight to me.
On me to bear what young shoulders Master, pray let me know beforehand if we are to meet somewhere different.
Our party is reunited. Surely we can ask for no more than that.
Look, Master, a treasure chest. We shall have to find a way to reach it.
We have arrived.
There is much we ought to tend to. If we are to Well, well. He is merely Disa's puppet then. 'Tis likely that he knows naught of her schemes. Even were he to be removed, I suspect some other would simply be made to take his place. But if there's aught that compels my attention, 'tis this other man you mention. Phaesus, was it? He seems a man of import, and yet I have never heard of him. Pray, allow me to investigate this matter further. You've done well, Your Majesty. Thank you.
Queen Regent Disa appears to be working in concert with this Phaesus fellow. But what precisely is their aim?
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are while examining the palace ledger for evidence of the Queen Regent's misdeeds. I made a curious discovery. For some time now, it seems she has been diverting a veritable mountain of gold to the daily purchase of sweet crown flower. What's more, this inexpedient spending habit is recorded to have begun the very day on which Arthur, the would-be arisen appeared on the scene. This cannot be mere happenstance. I can only conclude that these sums are passing into the hands of Arthur himself. Yet 'tis strange, for sweet crown flowers only grow on the eastern edge of Vermund. I dare say 'twas not an item chosen idly. Mayhap this knowledge will guide us in our pursuit of the false sovereign. 'Tis a frail hope to be certain. Yet all the same, I would ask that your majesty venture to Vermont's eastern edge and probe into this young man's origins. I am glad to hear it, for I cannot shake the feeling that uncovering the identity of the false sovereign is the key to unraveling Deeza's scheme and securing your enthronement.
Fancy a gander? Fine wares. Tis of dire import we unmask the false sovereign. To that end, we must travel to Vermund's eastern edge. I can guide you to the place, Arisen, or thereabouts.
Well, if you insist. I'm only glad I don't have to lead the way for a change.
A crime committed here will see one confined to jail.
As I understand it, the pay of a jailer is miserable for all their toil.
Then we'd best keep some coin on hand to...
Is there no getting through this door?
Follow me.
Have at me! I'll gladly take on any number of foes.
If we must, let us finish this quickly.
I'll turn you into a pincushion!
I'll combine my magic with yours that you might cast the spell more quickly. Douse the flames before 'tis too late. I grant you roaring flame. You are in need of healing. Allow me. Wait a moment.
Oh, I should tell you. There's a forgotten rift stone nearby. I found it beyond the rift. Shall we go there now?
Over so soon? Why, we seem to have come through unscathed.
Well, I'm sure there's still room for improvement. If I might be so bold as to speak my mind, the private quarters of one arisen I served had many a visitor, and rarely the same one.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Guard all you want. It won't make a difference when I grapple you, see?
Arisen! Are you alright? Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
I'd say we collect as much as we can carry.
Watch the hug.
To take care of the remainder.
Not a bad idea.
I will protect you.
I can't wait to find out what's inside.
Where the phantoms, Master?
I grant you fire's blaze. Use it well.
I could look upon this sky for all eternity, if 'twasn't for the crick in my neck.
Keep gazing upward and you're like to stumble ere long.
No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. The early griffin gets the worm, as they say. These fiends will resurrect so long as their skulls remain intact. But fear not, I shall gladly smash every last one.
Let us see what you're made of!
Frey, follow me. Hang in there, Master. I'm coming to assist. Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements.
While in another world, I happened upon a treasure chest rather close by here. Perhaps I could show you the way?
You're well fond of picking things up, aren't you?
I'll turn you into a pincushion!
Might there be aught over there?
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
Ah, now here's a surprise.
At least all our efforts weren't for naught.
Huh. I'll have to remember to tell my own master about this.
These faces have grown mightily familiar.
That explains the harmony betwixt us.
This seems a decent spot for a campsite.
Mayhap we ought to return for a rest when we're in need of one.
So, The path splits here.
Do we decide based on our experience, or trust to our instincts?
Arisen, we ought to heal ourselves while we've the chance.
I don't suppose begging for a reprieve would get us far with one of his lot.
I grant you roaring flame.
This fruit has quite a temper.
Reckless opponent makes for easy prey.
You have my protection.
I hope you weren't expecting murder.
I've got hold of the enemy.
Oh, I like that. We must spare no effort against this foe, lest we sup on bitter defeat.
Ah, yes. Now I...
Strike hard enough, and we might not have to do this twice.
I shall lead the charge.
Understood.
Look, Master, a treasure chest. We shall have to find a way to reach it.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
We could pick some now and use them when the need arises.
I'll wager I could make that shot.
Strike true, lest the beast flee.
You there! Are you looking to enter the village? You'd best go elsewhere, friend. What's wrong about this place? There's no business to be had here, that's for sure.
I don't know about you, Master, but word of a curious village.
You'd best go elsewhere. There's no business to be had here, that's for sure.
Fancy a look at my wares?
Treasure chest. Oh, I can hardly wait to open it.
Fancy a look at my wares?
Do come again.
I'll sleep soundly tonight.
This is the course. Nothing's free in this world.
Do stop by again.
Yon path leads not to our destination. If you would prefer to explore, I shall guide you another time.
I'm sure there's a very good reason for this detour. We must respect our master's wishes.
Whatever could you want from me?
Scare the heck out of me, why don't you?
Greetings. I must say I'm impressed by your intuition, sir. You found me out far sooner than most. I trust you are enjoying your sojourn in our fair village. If you have any questions, ask away. I should be glad to aid you. If aught about our humble village seems strange to you, that is easily explained. For 'tis here that thieves are instructed in the skills they require. To begin with, those who wander into the village are evaluated for their potential aptitude. Of course, you are no exception. That you stand here now is proof you were deemed a worthy candidate, which is to say, you have my approval as the Thiefmeister. Is there aught else you'd care to ask? You're curious what I know of you? Quite a bit, I should think. Naturally, I'm not the only one. Our village has its own network of spies and informants, you see, and your title tends to make you stand out among the rumors we collect. You're the second Arisen to come to Vermont, and you've allied yourself with Captain Brant against the Queen Regent. In response, she's... Oops. I mustn't say another word. Don't misunderstand. I'm no ally of the Queen Regent. I merely strive to maintain neutrality in political matters. Those who deal in information must ne'er align themselves with a particular power. Such is our village code. Is there aught else you care to ask? Arthur, you say? I've lived in this village many a year, but I can't say I've heard of someone by that name. My apologies. Is there aught else you care to ask? Aye. Take care, then. You, sir, are worthy of inheriting my ultimate technique. Once mastered, 'twill allow you to fell all foes, both minuscule and mighty. Take it, and do with it what you will.
Just imagine the coin we'd gain from selling this.
Deeper pockets make for shallower troubles, they say.
Can't say I've any tidings to share.
I'm not interested.
Have no fear, Master. I'll...
You made it after all. Guess that means I win. Oi, you lot best pay up.
Dear me.
You didn't disappoint, did you? You've done well. Seems only fair I answer any questions weighing on you. Go on. Ask away. Figures you'd want to know about him. We're supposed to be neutral. Ordinarily, I wouldn't say a word about one of our jobs. But I suppose I can tell you, the situation being what is. His real name is Dara. He was one of us, once. But he's been exiled. We had no choice, see? After he went off to play the false arisen, we're men and women of shadow. Center stage isn't our place to stand. That's why he was cast out. He'll ne'er be part of our village again. That all you wanted to ask? For all this, Dara was in line to become the next thief maester. But he failed. Took a massive injury to the chest during the trial. So the title fell to me. That's when he went off, saying he used the scar in his chest to pose as the Arisen. And what a scheme that turned out to be, eh? Now he gets to sit pretty on the best seat in the kingdom. Still, you'd have a hard time proving that he's not who he says he is. He's a wily one, that Dara. Always was careful not to leave behind a shred of evidence. But we can't have him thinking that he gets to go off and enjoy a peaceful life in the lap of luxury after breaking our code. Methinks he needs something to remind him of the debt he owes us. Here, this should do the trick. That all you wanted to ask? What can I say? Not many people bother with this place. Luckily for me, you were different. Knew I was right to bet in favor of the Arisen. Anyway, most visitors get fooled into going up to the manor. We send them packing with a trifle, and if they don't question it, good riddance. Anyone that complacent has got no business being a thief. We only train the rare few who make it here. Some might go so far as to say that the entire village was built around this spot. That all you wanted to ask? Aye. Till next time, then. Now, as to the Maester's teaching, not sure you'll be able to use it to its fullest potential, but I'll show it to you.
You're the one, then? Fie. I'd hoped I'd not be seeing you here.
Dear me.
How dare you? Just what I was waiting for.
Thank you, sir.
I've a mind to sing. Whatever it is, I'll thank you to leave me out of it.
Master, I thought I might never see you again.
Do take care not to stray so far next time.
Well met, sir. How might I be of service?
There's comfort in the panorama.
It is quiet about.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
I say we collect as much as we can carry.
The creature's corpse will serve us well.
Be sure to aim true.
Strange. This place is not as I remember it.
I cannot fault your memory. We must get to the bottom of this. How might we approach yon spire?
What say we mark it in our minds as a place of interest?
The Cyclops! Where its hulking might!
I grant you fire's blade. Use it well. On my way! I'll combine my magic with yours, which might cast the spell more quickly. It seems we have arranged our foe.
Reckless opponent makes for easy prey.
Fear not.
Take that!
I've hold of the arm. Now to bring it down and let it taste our fury. Could you lend me a hand? I've grabbed hold of our foe.
Do not falter. We'll take every ounce of our strength, but we can prevail.
I think I get the idea.
That was impeccably timed.
You can count on me to fly to your aid in your hour of need, Ma.
You're welcome. Fond of pig. Things up, aren't you?
A campsite lies near here. I remember passing by it on my travels beyond the rift. Shall I guide us to it?
Someone saw fit to camp here, it would seem.
Resting when and where you can is the secret to weathering a long journey.
I'll gather these now. It would be a shame to forget their location when we need them most. Might there be aught over there?
Let us ponder how best to proceed.
shan't let them harm you. Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
I'll turn you into a pincushion!
That was well fought. There's no one standing who might say otherwise.
No doubt, this triumph will spur us into the next.
It up. Here you go.
We've got goblins! I grant you roaring flame.
And here I was, hoping for some great treasure. Now I feel a fool.
We'll find a use for it, I'm sure.
Enough!
I will protect you.
Is this a challenge, Arisen? To see who can keep pace?
No time to catch your breath. Try to keep up.
break it from this side.
Perhaps.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
We could pick some now and use them when the need arises.
Barely scraping by.
Over here, if you please.
Have you business with the guild, sir? I should be... Glad to assist you. Do come again.
Not sure what they expect. Not getting on no
I see our goal has changed. I would not presume to direct our course, but do let me know if you... require a guide.
Perhaps the... I have no issue.
You!
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your... Have you divined aught of the false sovereign, your majesty? This appears to be a bill calling for the arrest of a man named Dara. But hold a moment. Does this man's countenance not bear an uncanny resemblance to that of the false sovereign? I see. If your majesty is certain that the two are one and the same, then I am convinced as well. However, I'm afraid this paper alone does not constitute sufficient proof. Ah, but of course. I surmise your majesty intends to post the bill and invite suspicion. A clever plan. The Queen Regent will be forced to deny any connection to our new sovereign, yet will be unable to remove the bill from the public eye. Furthermore, 'twill serve as an attestation to Dara's existence, which shall remain an undeniable truth till the man resurfaces. And all the while, the doubts lurking in the hearts of the citizenry will continue to deepen. A clever ploy indeed. I shall attend to this matter personally. I've no doubt that this bill will prove its worth in due course. You have my gratitude, your majesty. Your aid has been invaluable.
So, the false sovereign operates at the behest of Queen Regent Disa. This spider has woven her web rather carefully.
Fancy a look at my wares?
You!
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
After you, Arisen.
You!
When does my watch end? I've clean forgotten.
Huh. Huh. This looks like trouble.
I swear I've not blinked once in the last hour.
You! Huh.
I'll go and open the chest.
Huh. You!
It's no easy thing, making a living as a soldier.
You! You!
Would you mind coming over here?
You!
Oh, tell me I haven't got any fleas.
Mayhap I really would have been
You!
better off
I kept just about anywhere.
Would that I could spend all day here.
It's on me to bear what young I need help.
You!
But not at the expense of my duty.
There's comfort in the humdrum thing.
You!
boards after training.
I'm surrounded by winches on all sides.
I always thought I should. Reckon I'd spend my life here if I did.
Uh-huh. There's something written here.
A thorough perusal might reveal aught of interest.
Hi, sir. What I can do for you? What? You mean to say my Albert's a noble and has only been pretending to be a beggar? That can't be true. Earning a living in the slums isn't easy, but Albert and I, we promised each other we'd try our hardest to make ends meet. We've been working toward that all this time. And you're saying 'tis all a lie? I don't want to believe such madness, but nor can I deny that these garments are my husband's. Pray, tell me where you found them. I must see this for myself.
Any loose coin about?
best
Enough
move
to make
along.
you rich?
Mayhap if I hang about, someone will buy aught. When does my watch end?
Famous job, this.
Ah.
Good morrow, everyone.
Off we go then.
Shall we get underway? You shan't hear me complain about an
Such quiet. Would that all my days.
Beg pardon, sir, but have you any information about what happened here? A couple were found dead, you see. Poor Albert was stabbed from behind, and Selena, by all appearances, ended her own life after killing him. I can't fathom it. I knew the both of them, and I cannot imagine Selena doing such a thing, let alone to her dear husband. One witness claims Selena was turned away from a noble's estate shortly before the incident. But how could that possibly have led to aught so gruesome as this?
We ought to bring word of this to Captain Brandt.
You!
I have no issue falling as...
Night time already? I thought 'twas rather dark.
Shall we check our packs and be off?
I hope you slept well.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen you. Aught shall change once we have attended the coronation. If your majesty has any unfinished business to attend to, 'tis best you do so afore we depart. Very well. The coronation is to take place on the morrow. We shall depart early in the morn, so your majesty would do well to get a good night's rest.
Master, pray leave this place. My body, he refuses to obey me. There's a voice within my mind. It commands me, sways my very will.
Sways your will? Could it be that the gods sway? We must quit this place, Your Majesty. I fear our plans may fall to naught. Let us return to the tavern. We've been had. The false sovereign commanded the pawns at the coronation, proving his own power has arisen. According to Regent King Sven, the pretender was wearing some sort of lavish necklace at the time. I imagine this artifact is the godsway mentioned in that letter. Perchance 'tis a tool that grants power akin to that of the true Arisen. 'Twould do much to explain the events that we have beheld afore now. Alas, unless we find some way to unmake this godsway's power, proving your Majesty's legitimacy shall be difficult indeed. Pray, allow me time to search for a way forward. I shall inform your Majesty when I have prepared a plan of action.
Never could I have imagined such an outcome. What manner of artifact is this godsway? I suppose 'tis pointless to ponder. Let us await the results of Captain Brant's investigation.
Tis no great shock to me.
Naught compares to a real battle.
Such quietude is a blessing.
Getting proper rest is an
You'll not believe the journey I've had. I'll wager my horizons are broader than ever.
I've a feeling fortune shall favour us this day.
Off we go, then.
Ready to forge on?
Why, you there? Your presence is who's the one requesting? I didn't ask. 'Tis none of my concern.
Have you business with the guild, sir? I should be glad to assist. Do come again.
This ladder can take...
Welcome to... And quality's what you need if you want to survive. So for you, many thanks. I appreciate the bit.
'Twas a fascinating tale those soldiers outside the palace were discussing.
Oh. Did it pertain to the Queen Regent and an important personage, perchance?
Aye. Tell is, her ties to this figure from the neighboring country have a romantic tint.
Lost track of time. This place is too comfortable.
This ox cart, I'll need to see some coin before I let you on.
Why there, friend? Care to help a fellow out? All I ask is that you hear my request. What have you got to lose? My thanks, sir. As to the matter at hand, it concerns my ox cart business. I've been holding off service on account of all the monsters on the road, but now I feel prepared to start making trips to Melve again. Only trouble is, there are still monsters about, and I can't help but worry for the safety of the carts. That's where you come in. See, I've got a letter here from Lady Margit, the Watchhead's wife, to be delivered to one Sir Leonard in Melve. I'd like you to accompany the cart in my stead and see to it that the letter reaches its recipient. What say you, friend? Splendid! I knew I was right to put my faith in you. Now, the carts only depart at certain hours of the day, but I find that time flies when I take a seat at the station to wait. And mind you don't forget to pay your way before you board. That's standard practice, and I would advise against trying any funny business. Each cart travels with an escort of trained soldiers, see, in case it encounters any monsters out on the road. So anyone thinking of riding for free will have to take the issue up with them. But enough of my lecturing. Just make sure that letter gets to Sir Leonard, then come find me when the job's done. Oh, and I'll pay your fare this time, seeing as you're doing me a favor and all. Come find me when you've delivered that letter. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Right, let's get this delivered.
Ox.
Stand strong! With my head held high.
Now I've got it stepped
That damn dragon! Hurry, everyone! Get yourselves to safety!
You go with them. I'll fell that thing myself.
There you are.
This village is my home. You cannot expect me to have it.
I'll turn you into a mighty fluid its rays. We'll do more than sing. Look out!
Focus. A moment of indecision may spell our doom. Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the element. Well done! You must rally. Panic will only take the enemy's charge. around and fighting with. Look out, Arisen! We're under attack!
Flashing out when attacked. Can we not use this to our advantage? Very well.
Show yourself! 'Twas a lesson in determination. Somehow I knew you'd come. You have my gratitude as well, sir.
Ulrika, glad I am to see you unharmed. You must return to the village. Everyone is concerned for you.
Forgive me. I'd best go. But I shan't forget this. Thank you. Truly.
That wasn't the dragon, but a poor imitation of it. No wonder I feel so hollow. 'Tis a style all my own. A patchwork of techniques, honed for the sole purpose of slaying the dragon. That wasn't the dragon, but a poor Sigurd, you're the current Arisen, aren't you? I pray you do not walk the same path as I have. 'Tis a style, all a patchwork of technique.
Wasn't sure we'd survive that, but here we are. My thanks for your efforts.
Wasn't there aught we had to deliver to someone hereabouts?
I only hope the recipient is pleased with our work.
I knew it to be so. Here already, are we?
Can't help but talk in a whisper when I'm here. Know you of the brine? Shallow waters are safe.
Aye? Did you want? 'Tis a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
I'd say we collect as much as we can carry.
Caught you. You'll be all right now.
To neglect proper nutrition. What can I do for you? Ah, a letter from Lady Margaret, you say? It's a fair way you've come, then. Thanks. She's a kindly sort, I must say. We met when I worked with her husband, Sir Gregor, on one occasion. Now she's taken to inquiring after my health at the turn of every season.
Shall we?
A firm resolve has taken root in my heart since we met. I may be past my prime as a fighter, but I can still teach. And if anyone can master this technique, it is you. Go on, humor an old man.
A new destination calls to you, I take it. Say no more. I look forward to seeing where you take us.
I'm sure there's a very good reason for this detour. We must respect our master's wishes.
I'm not taking any passage.
Forgive me, but there's another matter I've been bursting to speak of. Namely, is your pack not overburdensome? You carry so much, I worry for your poor spine.
I've got to focus.
This ox cart. I'll need to see some coin before I let you on.
What good will come of this?
Ah, you've returned. How did you fare on the journey to Melve? Splendid! You've been an immense help, I must say. The cart reached its destination safe and sound, and from the tell of it, you even rid the road of a few monsters. You've certainly earned a reward, my friend. Here you are.
Ox carts seem a convenient choice for longer journeys. I see no harm in making use of them as needed, Master.
'Tis as you say.
You!
You are returned. Have you Oh, thank you, sir. You cannot imagine my relief. Might we continue this conversation somewhere more discreet? The matter it concerns is rather sensitive, and I would not risk being overheard. You will find my master's manor in the noble quarter. Pray, meet me there at your earliest convenience.
Follow me, if you would. Shall we visit the manor, as the maid bid? Follow me, Master. I shall guide you to the location.
Well, if you insist. I'm only glad I don't have to lead the way for a change.
Oh, you came, sir. I must confess, I feared you would not. But I forget myself. You must be wondering why I asked you here. I should like to speak with an acquaintance of yours, a child with whom I espied you conversing. She is the spitting image of my young master, you see. 'Tis my hope that she might take his place for a time, thereby granting him a reprieve from his sorry situation.
Diana, would you paint my mother a criminal? Perhaps I ought to be the one to explain.
Young master, I meant no offense.
Diana has the right of it, though the situation is not nearly so dire as she makes it sound. I seek only the freedom to leave my own home. My mother is bedridden, you see, and her mind is not so sharp as it once was. Whenever I am absent, she grows terribly distressed. By leaving a look-alike in the house, I hope to ensure her peace of mind while I attend to matters of my own. Would you be willing to lend your assistance? Splendid. Thank you so very much.
'Twas in the slums that I witnessed you speaking with the girl. Would you be so kind as to bring her here?
Quite the predicament.
This ladder looks sturdy enough to climb.
After you, Arisen.
Mayhap I ought to be getting someone to talk to.
Hoy, Arisen! I was hoping you'd come by, so I could thank you again for all your help. You really made a difference around here. You wanted to ask me a favor this time? All right. How can I help? So, this noble boy wants me to pretend to be him? I'm not sure that'd work. I mean, I don't know the first thing about being a noble. Besides, are you sure we can trust these people? It all sounds a bit fishy to me. All right, I'll do it. But if I'm not very good at it, it's not my fault, okay?
You! Huh.
Over here, if you please.
Quite the predicament.
Look, young master. She's here.
Indeed. I could be staring into a mirror. Diana, will you dress her and instruct her in her role?
As you wish, young master. This way, if you please, miss.
What a kindness you've done me. Now I can go and fetch a gift for Mother. I'm hoping a little cheer will aid her in her recovery. And a flower from Melve seems just the thing. And she was born there, you see. No doubt her days would be brighter with a memento of her old home by her bedside.
All is ready, young master. You need only finish your preparations for the journey.
Let's see. What else must I bring? Ah, I almost forgot. In that goes.
You know, the roads around Melve are supposed to be really dangerous. I heard the safest way to get there is to carry something that reeks of Cyclops with you, because it'll scare all the monsters away.
The lands around Melve are rife with poisonous flora. I'd hoped to pack an antidote for the young master, but the shops had none to spare. 'Tis not only poison the plants inflict, but drowsiness besides. Might there not be a curative that accounts for both?
Well then, I must confess, I feel rather uneasy. This is my first time leaving the city. I only hope I've not forgotten anything of import. You think I ought to bring some medicine and monster repellent with me? What precisely would you suggest? Let's see. Ah, I almost forgot.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
We could pick some now and use them when the need arises.
It seems Master Sebastian is lacking a few supplies. Shall we gather what springs to mind?
Yon path leads not to our destination. If you would prefer to explore, I shall guide you another time.
Perhaps the Arisen has recalled some more pressing business. Fret not. I'm sure we'll come back to this, eventually.
Well then, I must confess, I only hope I've not... You think I ought to bring some medicine and monster repellent with me? What precisely would you suggest? Let's see. What else must I bring? Ah, I almost...
Someone talked about this.
Tis quiet today.
Time to hit the sack.
Here's a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.
If there's any easy work to be had.
Some call it culture, I call it dull.
Gold eggs for us are a sign that all is well.
Somehow my people always carry me. I've more time than I know how to spend. Those new recruits
Well then, I must confess, I only hope I've... You think I ought to bring some medicine and monster repellent with me? What precisely would you suggest? My thanks. I'm certain these will come in useful. Now, I really must be going. Wish me luck.
Take care, young master.
Come back safe.
Thank you for your aid in all of this, sir. I shall see about procuring you a suitable reward, so pray do come visit us again.
Might be pretty.
predicament.
Beg pardon, sir, but might I have a moment of your time? I've a proposal to make, and methinks you'll want to hear it. See, a friend of mine hath an empty house, but no use for it. And I see you round the inn rather often. Understand me? 'Twouldn't come free, mind, but the price is a fair one, and you'd have a place to call your own. What say you? Well, you needn't decide this.
Must you run so fast? I can hardly keep you in my sights, Arisen.
Let us endeavor to keep up, though we are less fleet of foot.
Got to work if I'm to put bread on the table. I spend my life here if I could.
Ah, how I've longed to embrace.
A good sleep.
You shan't hear me complain about an...
I've more time than I know how to spend.
Oh, sir, the young master has not returned. I beg you, find him and bring him safely home. If aught were to befall him, Oh, I shudder to think.
You'll help him, won't you, Arisen?
I'll harvest what I can, should it please you.
What should I get up to?
Welcome.
You!
Only care I have is how to
Almost time to set out.
My bed calls and I shan't resist. I'll sleep soundly tonight.
This ox cart's bound for I'll need to see some coin before I let you...
This ladder can take us to new heights.
After you, Arisen.
I might just let you live.
You have my protection. When tarred, be sure to avoid open flame. Most impressive, Master.
Would seem I've some catching up to do.
Huzzah! You've done it!
I grant you Gaia's blade. Use it well.
It's this way.
I would have preferred not to have it quite so soon, but at least I know I am up to the challenge.
Try not to get hit, lest all that vim go to waste. Over so soon? Why, we seem to have come through unscathed.
We mustn't allow ourselves to become complacent.
No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. The early griffin gets the worm, as they say.
You... Ah! 'Tis you! Thank goodness you happened by, or who knows what might have become of me. You have my gratitude, but do excuse me. I'd best make for home.
Materials such as this can be combined to craft things.
I'm sure we'll find a purpose for it in due time.
Ingredients are plentiful hereabouts.
I'd say we collect as much as we can carry.
I shan't let them harm you. Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
I'll wager I could make that shot.
Strike true, lest the beast flee.
While travelling beyond the rift, I uncovered a treasure chest hidden in this very locale. Shall we seek it out? I'll gather these now. It would be a shame to forget their location when we need them most.
Oh, well spotted. Indeed. Good on you for being so observant.
There's aught to be found there. Can you not see it?
We ought to take a closer look.
This is rather thrilling.
It is about time we pressed on, wouldn't you say, Master?
Wearing armor all day.
Time to be heading home.
Well met, sir.
My bed calls, and I shan't. This ox. I'll not take you anywhere till I've had my due.
Welcome.
Slim pickings of late.
Time to be heading.
Quite the predicament.
'Tis a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
Home at last.
Welcome home, young master.
Thank you, Diana. I am glad to be back. 'Twas a hard journey, but I found what I sought. A blue sunbright, the sigil of our house. I only hope Mother will be pleased.
Oh, a blue sunbright. I thought they were make-believe.
Oh no, they're quite real. Rather rare, though, and particularly to Melv. I'm surprised you've heard of them, to be frank.
Really? Well, there's a picture of one stuck to the inner cover of a book that was donated to the Gracious Hand. I asked Sir Kendrick about it. He told me the flower's name.
A picture, you say? How very odd.
I believe Miss Daphne is describing a bookplate. The book in question will have been a donation from this very house. Indeed, the mistress has been very generous in her support of the Gracious Hand over the years.
For true? Oh, I must tell her thank you.
I think I could arrange that. I'm certain my mistress would be delighted.
Yes. Well, as for me, I'm just pleased to be home safe and sound.
All this racket. What's going on? Good gracious, what is the meaning of this?
Oh, you must be the lady who's been supporting the Gracious Hand. Thank you ever so much for all you've done for us.
What precisely have you told this girl?
Not a word, mistress. I swear it.
Good. As for you, girl, you need not thank me. 'Tis the privilege of the nobility to help those who are less fortunate. Now, 'tis getting late. You had best be off. Do be sure to leave the house unseen. And fare you well, child. Know that where'er life may lead you, you may take pride in who you are. Come, Diana. I would speak with you alone. You have some explaining to do.
What was that all about? Mother seemed awfully perturbed.
I do wonder what that was all about. Though I'm not sure we ought to pry.
That was not at all the outcome I'd anticipated.
What's going on?
Doesn't seem right, this.
I'm afraid not.
I took you for a kinder sort than that.
Would you mind coming over here? I've naught to say to the likes of you.
Seems you won't be swayed. A shame, that.
Tis a relief to be home safe and sound. I only hope the blue sunbright lifts Mother's spirits. What was that?
To think the lady here has been supporting the gracious hand for so long. I must find a way to thank her. Are all the nobles so kind? I can't wait to tell everybody at the gracious hand that I met the lady who gave us the book with the pretty flower.
What was that all about? What was that all about? Mother seemed...
Pray, follow me.
What's going on? Doesn't seem right, this.
There are useful ingredients to be gathered here, I'll wager.
We could pick... some now, and use them when the need arises. Getting proper rest is an important... Shall we hunt a few monsters to start the day off?
Come, we've much to be getting on with.
Oh, I don't know about you, but I am full of vim and vigour.
Quite the predicament.
Are all the nobles so kind?
At last, the moment I've been waiting for. Allow me to gather these up.
I've naught to say to the likes of you.
Seems you won't be swayed. A shame, that.
This ladder can take us to new heights.
We ought to put it to good use.
Have you come? While 'tis admirable to devote yourself, particularly if you are eligible for a special vocation, heretofore unseen opportunities of exciting potential. Always a pleasure.
Go on, have a look. Pleasure doing business.
It takes two to make a sale, and this cellar had nothing to tempt us with. Our funds are better spent elsewhere.
Browsing was enough to scratch the itch, in my case.
The rules at your leisure. Could use a dash of something.
There is much we ought to tend to, if we are to strengthen your Majesty's claim as a true arisen. Regarding the matter of the Godsway, I fear there is naught to be done, save for your Majesty to venture to Batal, where you might uncover the false sovereign's secrets directly. The sigil upon that letter from some days past bore the crest of the Batali Palace. Surely there's aught to be found therein. Yet official dealings twixt Batal and Vermund are suspended. Passing through their fortress will prove a difficult task. With such hindrances in mind, I thought to prepare this. Pray, take it. Few may pass through Batal's fortress, save Beastren merchants. With some coin, I was able to convince one such merchant to grant us that entry permit. It ought guaranteed passage through the border checkpoint. But alas, 'tis intended for a Beastren. You shall have to act the part. But as to how that should be done, I'm shamed to say I do not know. 'Twill depend upon your Majesty's ingenuity.
Then I shall remain by your side.
Have you business with the guild, sir? I should be glad to. Do come again.
You the Arisen? I've been looking for you. Sven wants to meet with you. Says he'll be waiting in his quarters.
Welcome.
I'm not risking my life for a pittance.
Look, as long as you
wait for the new equipment to come in.
Alas, 'twould seem I've taken on too much.
If you've anything edible, I'll gladly lessen your burden.
I've more time than I know how to spend.
It is our duty to see this peace protected.
Would that all my days were so tranquil.
Do you know how long you'll be? I only asked so that I might adopt the most effective stance to recuperate my strength.
I've been here so long, I almost forgot why I came.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm cut out for this work.
recruits could barely lift their swords.
I heard from Captain Brandt that you plan to make for Batal in order to continue your investigation. As for me, I've been looking into my mother's movements since last we met, and I happened upon this. 'Tis a letter she discarded, only half written. It seems to be addressed to someone called Phaesus. I passed an eye o'er it, though I failed to grasp its meaning, or what compelled her to throw it away. Here, I thought it best that you have it. Mayhap you could glean aught from it that I could not. And if you do, would you be so kind as to share it with me? That is, only if you've the time to spare. I am in no position to make demands, of course.
Mayhap I'll come here when I have a day to myself. Pray in, ne'er put gold in my pocket.
My sword arm could use some work.
Still waiting on that report.
The wise are as discerning with time as with coin.
We've naught to discuss.
I quite like it here.
We shall wait here till your business is done.
Welcome, sir. As ever, we are delighted to have you. Pray.
Everyone's busy with their own affairs. Here's hoping
A lonely place.
I'll find myself
Not
a
without
worthy
its
patron
charms.
soon
The
enough.
sky always puts me in a contemplative
Perhaps 'tis time I left this city.
I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the matter at hand. Perhaps we should have a more knowledgeable pawn join our party.
What's this? Come to admire my sculptures, have you? Ho ho! To think my eminence as a collector would reach in the ears of the Arisen. If only my collection were complete, I'd fain allow you to inspect it. Alas, the sculpture that I commissioned to be its centerpiece is yet to arrive, and 'twould wound my pride to have you behold my collection ere 'tis made whole. If your curiosity shall not be denied, however, mayhap you consider paying a visit to the sculptor in my stead. The man's home is located in Bakbatawa. You need only tell him that I eagerly await the sculpture's completion.
We may benefit from pursuing the information. Stay with me, Arisen. Wait right there.
Greetings.
Tis a ladder. Shall we see where it leads?
After you, Arisen.
But not at the expense of my duties as practice job.
I have no issue falling asleep.
Now we've the vim to tackle the day ahead.
Off we go, then.
Oh, I don't know about you, but I am full of vim and vigour. I have a knack for gathering items and am ever on the hunt for new... I'm only glad to have
I happen to understand Elvish, Master. I expect you'll find my talents useful should we encounter another if ever you've need of an ear to listen. A crime committed here will see one confined to jail.
As I understand it, the...
You are as elected. Learned on the subject of the written word is Magistrate Waldar. Shall we show him the letter? Allow me to guide you, Master. I know the person you're looking for. We're in your hands, sir. Much obliged.
To face it, no one's coming to my rescue.
Over here, if you please.
Gathering materials makes for dull work indeed.
Water is nigh invisible in this gloom. No few times has an overconfident step soaked my boots.
I dare say that's part and parcel of the adventurer's trade.
It was excellent. I could have done no better. Let my magic imbue your weapon with the fury of the elements.
What is it? Have you brought me something to sate my unquenchable thirst for knowledge? A book, perchance? No, a letter, is it? Let's see here. But know that tonight the moon shall again be shrouded in a veil of gossamer clouds, awaiting the return of the sun's warming glow. Well, well. I'd not put Disa the capacity for such refinement. 'Tis a love letter of a sort. One that draws on ancient symbolism to convey its message. The moon represents a woman, the sun, a man. Put simply, what this letter means to communicate is, I miss you. Ha! A surprisingly saccharine sentiment coming from the Queen Regent. Would you not agree? I know not who this Phasis is, though 'tis safe to say that Disa is rather
invested in him. What concerns me is this godsway mentioned in the first line. If we can take this letter at its word, and 'twas indeed granted to the Queen Regent, we can surmise that it must be something tangible, an object. As to what manner of object, however, I can only begin to guess, and I'm not one for pointless conjecture. I suspect someone of Batali heritage might be able to tell you more.
These writings could be of import?
Shall we take a closer look?
Ah, Sir Arisen. I've been meaning to speak with you. Did you, perchance, pay a visit to the House of the Blue Sunbright? I see. After the rather strongly worded letter I received, I feared as much. 'Twas under unique circumstances, shall we say, that Daphne came to reside with us. You must understand, the House of the Blue Sunbright is our most generous benefactor, and their favor hinges upon our continued discretion. Thus, for the sake of all who reside herein, I beg you to steer Daphne away from any further contact with that household. Though it pains me to perpetuate the girl's misfortune, it must be done, if the gracious hand is to continue to function.
Do you perchance remember me? You once knew me as maid to the young master, Sebastian. Well, I'm his maid no longer. Though I meant no harm, the mistress saw fit to turn me out. Tell no other soul of this. But the girl I had you fetch was none other than Sebastian's own twin sister. Afeard of inviting conflict over their inheritance, Daphne's family branded her a cursed babe and sent her away. Yet the loss of her newborn child drove the mistress half mad with grief. She's been bedridden ever since. I had hoped the sight of her long-lost daughter might rekindle some vital spark within my mistress. But alas, 'twould seem it was not to be. In the end, my good intentions served only to rob me of my station. I suppose 'twas no less than my due for meddling in the affairs of the nobility.
This is generally used as a material.
Different combinations of materials result in different creations.
What am I supposed to How do I wind up here anyhow?
There's a calm.
Lots to do. A precious little time.
Don't think you're safe just because you're in the city. Monsters.
There's a ladder here.
Perhaps new discoveries await us above.